Swami, namaste. We are on live. We are on live now, and it's 1 minute past 2 o'clock. We are in fact waiting for the office bearers of Chennai Sahodaya. But then we intend starting it on time, and especially for those teachers now who have tuned in for this particular program. Let's wait for some more time, and let's wait and see whether the office bearers of Chennai Sahodaya is in, but that doesn't really, we can even straight away start. We have here with us from our side, we have here with us Brahmachari Maheshwara Chaitanya ji, who would be inaugurating this orientation program for those of you who have tuned in. But before I do so, it is indeed my pleasure to give a micro level introduction about Swamiji to all of you, those of you who are here. Brahmachari Maheshwara Chaitanya is a commerce graduate and then went on to complete his master's in computer application. He, in fact, was teaching for almost 15 years in the computer science domain, and currently he is the chairman BTech admissions for Ahmedabad School of Engineering. In fact, it is not out of place for me to mention about his association with ICPC, International Collegiate Programming Contest. He was, or he is, instrumental for making quite a large number of students contesting for programming. And in the year 2018, he was awarded the Best Leadership Award for his association for more than 1 decade with ICPC. So congratulations to you, Swamiji, for this achievement of the Best Leadership Award. And also thank you for your efforts in making quite a few of them contest for ICPC. So let us, as usual, we have quite a few webinars going on every week. We always start any session whatsoever seeking the blessings of our Chancellor, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, whom we call Amma. And whatever we are today, we are because of the blessings of our Chancellor, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. So may I now request Swamiji to just light the lamp of knowledge and honor us with the blessings of our Chancellor, Amma. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for blessing all of us. And I hope and trust that this session is going to be of great help for our teachers and this COVID times. And we would now request Swamiji to address the attendees regarding today's session. Over to you, Swamiji.
Very good afternoon and Namaskar. So this is basically a gift from the Chancellor, because of the reason that we all are now into a different kind of teaching learning process. Everything is now going online. So most of the students who were not using or whom we never allowed to use mobile or laptop or any type of gadgets, all of them, we are forcing them to use mobile or laptop or computer or a gadget to attend the online class. So the online sessions have now become part and parcel of the life. And it is under this circumstance where we try to explore how far the virtual experiments can help our teachers to educate the students, just like showing the photograph of an elephant or video of an elephant, saying that this is elephant, and the students can recall when the student sees the real elephant, they can recall. So something like that is now happening across the internet or the web, where the whole experiments or all the kind of online classes or classes are now going online. It is very important that teachers have to be upskilled, or teachers also needs to update their knowledge in the online domain. So it is in this situation that we at Amrita, we are trying to bring out this kind of sessions for the teachers. The very purpose of our parent organization as the vision of Amma is to serve the society in what all possible ways we can. And she says that technology can also be used for the purpose of or for a better purpose of the human beings, or for the societal benefit. So let us try to learn more and more on technology, use more and more technology to share our knowledge, to help others, to impart the culture of teaching and learning, the traditional teaching and learning. And when I mean culture, it has to be imparted from the teacher to the student. No online course can do that. Only teachers can do that. So along with the technical knowledge, if you are able to impart that culture from heart to heart, that makes the life of a student successful. So let us pray to Amma, to God, that this session will enlighten all of us who are participating, and let us hope that the situation returns to normalcy very soon, and we try to educate the skills whatever we have learned during this pandemic to the future generation. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, Swamiji, for your blessings, and we are sure your prayers will be heard by the Almighty, and hopefully the entire globe gets back to normal as early as possible. It was actually the 24th of March 2020. You know what happened? 24th of March 2020. Before I mention what really happened on the 24th March 2020, let's imagine a situation we would have seen in war movies. I'm sure the teachers would be watching a lot of movies. You would have seen in the war movies, suddenly there is an emergency declared, a war declared, and you can find the Jawans running out of this barracks or the tents and then moving towards the battlefield to attack the enemy entering their nation. You would have seen that in the movies. But then when they get up in the middle of the night to protect their country from the attack of enemies, they always had arms with themselves. They had AK-47, they had rifles, they had pistols, whatnot. They had something to defend. Now come back to the 24th of March when the Prime Minister declared lockdown for almost 4 weeks. We were all confused. We were all not knowing what to do for the next a month, almost 30 days. And today we are actually on the 5th month of the lockdown. So people have started moving around, but we are not opened out fully. We are still under lockdown. You call it as removing the lock, 1, 2, 3 stage, whatever you call. Even now we are confused. Why am I saying this? Even when the lockdown was declared after a month or two, teachers behaved like the warriors, the soldiers. The teachers never did bring a break in the process of teaching and learning. The flow of information, the flow of education went on with whatever way we could. The teachers were in touch with the students, and teachers are in touch with the students. In fact, we must compliment you all teachers. Kudos to all of you. A job well done. Because education can never, ever, ever, never stop. And you proved it, teacher. You didn't have anything to fight the war. You had nothing, no idea as to what you should do, but you fought. You are still teaching our little children. I think we all must compliment you for this excellent work you have been doing and what you call it as the online live classrooms. Wonderful job. We know the difficulties the teachers are going through. We know the obstacles, the hurdles, what you teachers are facing when you teach sitting at home. It is not that we are not aware of, because the entire process of teaching online is new for you. And I pity those guys who watches our teachers and make fun of them. My apologies. I'm so sorry. Those are the jokers who make fun of our teachers. They do not know what the problems our teachers are going through. It's a new process. It takes time for a teacher to get accustomed to a live teaching class. But let me tell you, on behalf of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, we salute you all teachers for a non-break teaching and learning process. As rightly said, when the going is tough and the tough gets going, undoubtedly you are all continuing to be tough in the field of imparting education to our children without a break during the breakdown. This is the first message I wanted to give you before I start my presentation. You all know the purpose of you all know the reason as to why are we here, right? Why are we here is, can anybody pen me a few lines? Why are we here? What is the reason that we are here? Can I see some write-ups? Can I see some write-ups? I want some write-ups, please. Oh, somebody's writing. Someone is writing online. All right, I will just give me some time, teachers, to set my PowerPoint presentation before I enter into my talks. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard about Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. We are based out of Coimbatore, I'm sure everybody would have visited Coimbatore. And before I did that, talking to you something about Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, not everything because it takes a long time, I can only do that. So the current reason for me to be here, this is myself, my name is Medal Krish, I'm a life coach and a mentor. I'm representing Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham as a chairman of Career Competency Development. And most probably, ma'am would join us during or later, most probably, unless Dr. Prema is engaged with her work in Amrtapuri, right? So if not, she will certainly join us. In fact, she is instrumental for creating the O Labs. So she is the founder director of Amrita Create. Now, on behalf of Amrita, as Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, we welcome you all for this O Lab session. And as Swamiji mentioned, that every initiative that goes on in the field of education for Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is the blessings of our Chancellor, Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. And she's been always our guiding light of AVVP. And here it is. It is Medal Krish who is now on live to all of you from the headquarters of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Etimadai. About Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, if I have to mention, barring Amrita School of Law, we don't have law, but other than law, you pick up any stream, we have it with us, starting from Amrita School of Engineering. We have about 6 campuses, right? One in Amrtapuri, one in Cochin, one in Mysore, one in Bangalore, one in Chennai, one in Coimbatore, where I am now talking to you. So we are at the moment operating from 6 campuses, and next campus would be Amrita School of Engineering at Amravati in Andhra Pradesh. And God willingly, if things ease out as early as possible, we would be operating our second medical college from Faridabad, NCR. About the streams, we have Amrita School of Engineering, Amrita School of Arts and Science, Amrita School of Dentistry, Amrita School of Medicine, Biotechnology, name anything we have, except for law. It is not again out of place for me to mention that Amrita is the #1 university, private university across the world by multiple agencies who goes around ranking the universities across the world. So we are the #1 as per the private universities concerned, and the recent Asian higher education, Times Higher Education, we have been in the rank of 125. The latest good news to all of us is about NIRF, National Institution Ranking Framework, wherein Amrita has been ranked the 4th best university in country by MHRD. So thank you so much for those well-wishers. Thank you so much for those students, alumni, and the faculties, management, everyone who had contributed, making Amrita the 4th best university in the country. So we are into business now. We are getting on to the most awaited topic is about the Amrita O Labs. The O Labs is Amrita Online Labs. Now, what is it all about? I'm sure I got some questions about 500 odd questions that appeared while you had registered for this particular online class. Now, if you ask me what this online lab is all about, it's an initiative of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. That's called MEITY. So O Labs is jointly developed by this. How many of you heard about CDAC? Is a Center for Development, right, of Advanced Computing. It's a part of the Department of Ministry of Electronics and IT. CDAC, you find CDAC Bombay, CDAC Bangalore. So it is actually a center for development of advanced computing. So we, Amrita, along with CDAC Bombay, under the direction and sanction of a particular budget, we developed this O Labs about a decade back, if my memory is right. And it progressed. It took a lot of time for us to develop this online labs as early as 2010, 2011. It's actually a major digital India initiative with almost 136 online virtual lab experimented, mapped to match the NCERT school curriculum. So this is a virtual lab, simple as such. We will go ahead with so many other explanations, but this is a virtual lab, right? You have many things in that which will be talked about during my presentation as well as when we bring in the demonstration. It's actually a digital solution, my dear teachers, based on the affordability and acceptability for various classes of educations. So this is all a bit of what OLAB is all about. It's very clearly mentioned, it's a digital content mapped to school syllabuses, and it's more the curriculum, NCERT and CBSE curriculum. Now, this is what is MEITY, Government of India, Ministry of Electronics, right, and Information Technology. In fact, we must be really thankful to this department. It was under Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of IT, Information Technology. Now they have come out as a separate entity to spread the news of digital India. A wonderful job done. And today, if OLAB has to exist is only because of MEITY. So thank you so much for this particular department and the Minister, Government of India, for providing all facilities to develop this OLABs as early as 2010. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful contribution. It is a wonderful initiative. And thanks to Amma again for taking up such initiatives to serve the society, in terms of education. So thanks a lot. It's my pleasure to thank especially MEIT. And as I mentioned, CDAC is a part of MEITY. And of course, both Amrita and CDAC joined together and developed what you find today, or what you call today, the O Lab. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a photograph of a school, right? On the top is the school and the bottom is a lab. Now, why did we bring out this concept of online labs? The first reason is, in my opinion, and not my opinion, across the spectrum in the field of education, I would say that education is a right of every child, every citizen of this country. They have a right to education. That's called RTE. And when you educate, the opportunity must be given equal to all. So when the opportunity has to be given to all, you have some schools which have no labs. There are many schools. I'm not talking about teachers who are serving some, little high funda schools or, a modern school. I have been across the country. I've gone to all the 28 states of this country. All right. And I found schools with no laboratories. There are no toilets, even for the girls. I've seen schools where 4th, 5th, 6th standard students sit in one class and learn. I've seen schools where there are no roofing. Whether it's sun or rain, the children are sitting. I've seen school where in classrooms, just not the students, just not the children who attend. You can see cows and goats and hen and monkeys sitting in the classrooms. I've seen this. Now, teachers, When we take up an initiative like OLAB, we felt that even the schools who do not have such facility of a lab, they must learn how to conduct an experiment. So that is why OLAB, the first reason. The second reason is you have a modern school, you have a modern lab. You all have a lab. You would have seen it in your own school. But how many times the experiments are conducted? The repeat experiments are not possible. You do it once and that's the end of it. You have a modern school, you have a modern laboratory, but children are able to repeat. You agree or disagree? So this could be the second reason. The third reason is certain experiments you can't do it. Like, for example, cutting a frog. Oh my God. And you have to handle such fragile glass tubes, apparatus. So we thought, when you can't cut a rat in a biology lab, but we must know to study the anatomy of a human being. You can't cut a dead body. Maybe a doctor has to. So the OLAB came. Safety. What happens if a liquid, dangerous liquid falls on you? It's dangerous. So we thought, let us bring it. Then the OLAB came. Then the other reason is, if I have to teach a student on the life cycle of a mosquito, how can you teach? Can you teach through an experiment? Can you keep an egg and then you can't? So that has to come through some other way. So we brought in. What about the pendulum? The behavior of a pendulum in atmosphere of Jupiter. How do you do this in a physics lab? So here it is. Again, in a physics lab, if somebody has to, if a child has to be taught to experiment, sensing magnetic field intensity, how do you do that? So all labs came. Assessment of children. Today you assess them theoretically, but assessment practically has still not gone into a stage where it has become serious. But bringing a OLAB, it can. You can make a student sit and make him do a particular experiment on OLAB and can be assessed. Why not? And in many occasions, I've seen that individually, there are 3 or 4 students doing lab together. So the assessment part of it, OLAB can do it. We find teachers, we are not talking teachers from Chennai or Coimbatore or Bangalore or Jaipur or Delhi or Bombay. We are talking about teachers who are in the interior part of our country. 65% of population still lives in villages. And you know, the level of learning, the level of knowledge, our teachers, it needs a lot of improvement. I'm not blaming the teachers. I'm sorry. Teachers are like mother gods. I'm sorry, or father gods, whatever you say, because 90% of the teachers are the mother gods. So, you know, OLABs could train the teachers. OLABs could train the teachers. So if the training has to be done to reach all those teachers who need extra training, OLAB can do it. So there, and that is the reason why OLAB came into existence. So to summarize, you can talk about teachers training in the remote places. You can talk about certain assessment tool. Is an assessment tool for the teachers to find out how well a student has understood a particular experiment. The others can be certain experiments a traditional lab cannot do, which OLABs can do. In even a developed school where there are modern labs, repeat is an impossible question at all. It's an impossible question to altogether. Then I started by saying equidistribution of quality education across all the children in our country. So these are the reasons why OLAP came into existence, and this is the thought process as early as or late 2009 or 2008. The next slide would be, what are these online labs? You know, when I showed you the first slide, it's got online labs for school experiments. It's all online laboratories. All for school experiments. Now, this is a statistics which I felt that the teachers who are listening to me must understand. We have so far done about 30,000 teacher training on OLABs and gone around to 8,500 schools. And this is done physically. The training has been imparted physically. But today, we are conducting online orientation for teachers and reaching close to 800 odd teachers at the moment. At the moment. Because we had a registration close to about 1,000 teachers for this particular orientation. Yes, teachers. Now, the pie chart shows you have a sort of doing your experiment wherever you are and whenever you want to do. That's the first pie chart which you're seeing on the left side. Don't look at the COVID slide, but you look at the left side on the green note. Right? Did you see that on the green note? Yes. So it can be done anytime, even in the middle of the night, you can wake up and say, hey, I want to do this test. Yeah, please do the experiment. And wherever you are, you need to have the internet, you need to have a tab. The second one is, it is actually a supplement for physical lab experiments and theory. It's a supplement by itself. It's a supplement, but it cannot substitute a physical lab. I mean, the traditional lab. It's just a supplement. I will never say, like, now we are into live, right? We are into live teaching and learning or orienting ourselves. Now, there's nothing like sitting in the classroom. There's nothing like meeting some 100, 200 teachers and we conducting a class. It cannot substitute a real physical traditional lab. Let me tell you that. But it is a supplement. And this is also designed for self-learning. The teachers can learn by themselves. The students can learn by themselves. It's a self-learning. And more important for a student, my dear teachers, today you learn a lot by exploring. My time, I used to go to the library in my college or the university and then used to explore. The exploration is like a volcano. The more you explore, the more information comes in. You explore. So you can explore, then you can conduct whichever experiment you want to, whether in physics, whether in chemistry, whether in mathematics, whether in English. You can explore and start conducting, and then you can repeat. One of the reasons why OLAB came is just, even if you have a modernized lab, you can't repeat, but here you can repeat any number of times. Any number of times you can repeat. And mostly all these are aligned to the NCERT curriculum. And let me tell you, in my latest interaction with various teachers of various schools, with various curriculum, whether it's matriculation, state board, ICSE, IB, CBSE, whichever it is, the question raised, Krish, How do we conduct practical examinations? How do we conduct experiments? I can talk and teach and preach theory, but how do I go about doing experiments to my little children? Krish, tough question, but teachers, for a question in 2020 because of COVID-19, Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham found an answer as early as 2011. Nobody really bothered, and I'm sure few of the schools may be using this. But we would like all this to be used by many of the schools so that all students benefit out of it. It's something called a Gandhian engineering. You can Google what is Gandhian engineering. You would have heard about civil engineering, you would have heard about mechanical engineering, but there is something called a Gandhi. It's for the masters, right? Whatever you invent, whatever you bring in, it should be for the masses. It should be utilized by large number of people. It should benefit many, not few. If I invent something today, it should go into 1.3 billion people must be able to use it. For that, it must be cheaper. So that is how I am saying Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham looked ahead and did come out with this initiative, right, on Digital India and brought out this OLAB. So this is all about OLAB, online lab for school experiments. We have close to 140 odd science experiments for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And these are the number of experiments against number of, for example, I would like you to look at this: physics 54, chemistry 46, biology 36, and mathematics 25. For mathematics, we are only for 9th and 10th. We have not gone in for 11th and 12th. So let me also tell you, teachers, that there could be some changes in the curriculum from NCERT which need a bit of an adjustment, bit of modification, which will be done by us, because now everyone needs OLAB. Everyone needs Amrita OLAB. So we would do that modification. We would really do those corrections. So this is what it is. And any suggestions, you can always come out on the chat box, and we will be too pleased to do it for you. So here are the number of experiments that are available, which is in line with the NCERT curriculum. Now, salient features of this particular OLAB. Here is Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, the initiative of our Chancellor, Mada Amritananda Devi, where we are not for business. It's a free-based, web-based access. Log into www.olabs.edu.in. It's a free web-based access. Many of those publishers, I don't want to name, many of those publishers came to us seeking our permission to buy this and then incorporate with their class books. We didn't do that because they're going to charge you for that. Because we believe that let's give whatever possible to our children, whatever possible to our children, and wherever possible, whenever possible, the education totally free. And here is where this new innovative OLAB is on a web-based access, and you can access it on www.olabs.edu.in. And as I earlier mentioned, that these experiments and activities are aligned to NCERT curriculum, which certainly needs a bit of a correction, which would be taken up with the development team, and also based on your feedback forms, which we'll be sending us shortly. We'll take it up with our development team, who would certainly correct as per the latest changes in NCERT curriculum. Now, on the eConnect front, on the eConnect front, when you get into how do you log into this? This is something very important which all my teachers must look at it. How do you log in us? I give you that log ID. Can you repeat? www. What is that? olabs.edu.in, right? When you log in, you get this. When you get this, you have to register. You have to register. There is a register. You have to register that, and then you have to sign it. Sign in. Individually as a teacher, you can register, you can sign in, or as a school, you can sign in. If it is for a school, you will have an Excel sheet, and on that Excel sheet, you need to put the names of the children, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, 300, 1,000, how many numbers, put it. We will give you a login ID and the password from our end. Or individually, you can also sign in, log in, sign in, and put your password yourself. But to use it, you have to sign it. And if you have any doubts on signing in, any problems you face, please note on this number. You have this number, 93450-76625. Put it on a chat box, please. Please contact at 93450-76625, and we'll be only too pleased to assist you. And so schools can log in and then request for a bulk registration. Everything is given absolutely no charge at all. So when you log in, you get this, you see what is on the screen. Now, when you see it on the screen, what happens is, before we do the demonstration, I thought I'll just tell you the theory part of it. What you get is on the left side is the theory. Now, what does this theory show? The theory of the lab contains all conceptual background of the experiment. It's like how you teach theoretically about an experiment. The law of relativity, the law of motion. The theory part of it you explain to the students. So the entire theory has been briefed well before you get into the O-line, the O-lab, or the online experiment. So the first is the theory part of it. So you get, for example, our objective, the objective of convex mirror, the focal length, the objective of this particular, it goes on. It goes on. So if the teacher is able to read and the student is able to understand, they have really rehearsed or revised the theory part of a particular experiment. And the second thing what you see on the right side after theory is the procedure. The procedure explains to you as to, here it is. I'm sorry. The procedure explains to you about, how do you, I'm sorry, I'm not put that particular slide. The procedure explains to you about the things, objects and the things that you require, right? The things that you require for conducting this particular experiment. For example, it's called standard operating procedure. What are the things requirement? You can call it a standard lab or experiment procedure, whatever you want. How do we go about? Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, step number 5, step number 6, results. So the procedure gives you to equip yourselves on those particular standard experimenting procedures, which ask you to do this, get this first, do this second, do this third. The demonstration gentleman is ready. He will explain to you well on that. The third is we have an animation. The entire animation is on a, you can switch it on, you can see the entire experiment on an animation. We are animated and put it as a video here. Right? And once you understand the animation, how to go about, then you step on to the next one, which is called the simulator. The simulator is you simulate yourself as if you are using the apparatus. This is all on a convex mirror focal length. This is the experiment. It'll come back to you. It'll be demonstrated by my colleague from Amritapuri. He's waiting there on the other side, and he will do the demonstration for you. Please wait for some more time. And you come into the simulator. The simulator will give you directions. You'll have to use the drop, drag and drop methodology. Drag and drop. You'll have to use your browse and then drag. It'll tell you so much of this, so much of that. It'll give you directions to see and do the exercise. This is how it is done. So use the simulator. Everything will come on a demonstration later. And after the simulator, there is something called a video. Wherever possible, we have given a live video about the experiment. The total live video of the experiment, starting from theory till the result. Unfortunately, live is not there with the convex mirror focal length experiments. So teachers, if video is not there, go into the next step, which is called Viva Voce. And here is Viva Voce is something which is very, very important, because this will carry about 10 questions or say. The Viva has to be about 10 to 12 questions. Maybe some will have 12, some will have 10. And this is like a QUIZ by end of like the teacher asks a question after every class. So if he is able to answer everything correct, he gets 10 out of 10. If he makes some mistake, it gives you the correct answer also. So it's an objective type question on a Viva. And here is where the next is the resources. Now you can question us, where the hell did you get all this? We will produce the results from where we took all this experiments. So from the source, the resource is clearly mentioned. And of course, the last is the very, very important, is the feedback from the student or feedback from the teacher. Because we would expect everyone to give us your critical feedback, so that the more you criticize, the more you find faults and difficulties, hurdles and obstacles in operating this, we will correct ourselves. So we can't improve unless we get your feedback. So that is another thing. So these are things which you will find. One is that theory, then is the procedure, then it's of course the animation, then you find the simulation, then you find the video, then you find the Viva Voce, and then you find the resources, then you find the feedback. So this is how it goes. Teachers, very, very user-friendly. Very, 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 very user-friendly. Not to bother, not to worry. Absolutely. A layman who has not even touched a computer can do that. Very, very easy. A layman can use this and conduct an experiment. So it isn't tough at all. It isn't tough at all. So here is the feedback. And then now is the time for you people to write something on the chat box. How is it useful for the teachers? Come on, answer me. Whoever gives me the first 3 questions will get a gift from me. A beautiful, lovely, attractive executive bag from Ahmedabad School of Engineering. How is this OLAP going to be useful? Let me have the first 3 answers. Cut. And it should be a right answer. Don't tell me because OLAP we can spend more time at home, or not that type of answer. It must be a very, very, very constructive answer. Let me check any answers have come. Let me check. No answers have come. So this is how our students also, when they listen to you, will be the same way. And we blame the students. I'm asking you to put it on a piece of, not even piece of paper, sorry, it's on, you can just type your answer, and I don't get any answer. I've got about 8 answers so far. Thank you so much. All of the teachers may be online. The mobile is online and teacher may not be there. I understand that. But for those of you who have written something, will receive a gift from Amrita School of Engineering. This is for the students how OLAP is going to benefit. Now, if you want to know the answers for that, I would say for the teachers, it is a supplementary learning for all of you, right? In the classroom, it explains labs before performing the real experiment. After performing the practicals, you can ask them questions, you can get replies, you can correct them. So everything is like, though not like a live, traditional physical lab experiment. It's not like that 100%, but still, all that what you do in a lab can be repeated here on OLabs. For students, it's a pre-lab, familiarized with lab first, and then after lab, you can have a revision, try it out again and again. You can do it anywhere you want. So, these are the benefits a student would go through. So during COVID, when teachers are struggling to conduct experiments, how do you conduct experiments? You can't conduct experiments, but then this can be easily done. This can be easily done on tablets. So if your students have tablets, and it's not recommended on a smartphone because the screens are too small, it's not that easy to drag and drop. So we would recommend, though not impossible on a smartphone, but we would recommend either on a laptop or on a desktop or on a tab. Now, all this are available on Amrita Create. Amrita Create is Amrita's Center for Research in Analytics, Technology, and Education. Amrita Create. So all this more than 100 experiments are available on Amrita Create. Please use it for your experimental purposes. You teachers have better innovative thoughts, creativity and innovative thoughts in your mind. And you are smarter than all of us. So find ways of using this for your experimental classes. Now, let me also go to the next slide. So Amrita Create, Amrita, yes, AMRITA, Amrita Create, CREATE, Center for Research in Analytics, Technology, and Education. And Amrita Create Director is Dr. Prema Nedungadi, right? Wonderful job. Thank you, Prema, for getting this and being used today widely by many of those teachers in teaching science, English, and mathematics. So here it is. This is a YouTube. You can make a note of it, right? You can make a note of this, www.youtube.com. So this is a playlist. You can just make a note of it. Just put YouTube Amrita Create. That's it. You get all the experiments, more than 100. Use it. Why not? So having done all this, my dear teachers, somebody has to recognize Amrita Create, isn't it? All right. Before we get on to appreciating the team, Dr. Prema Nedungadi, who is the director for Amrita Create, as well as the chair for Computer Science Engineering at Amrita School of Engineering, Amritapuri. This is available in 4 languages, starting with Hindi. अगर आपको हिंदी मालूम है तो आप इसको हिंदी में आप उनको सिखा सकते हैं. മലയാളം അറിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഇത് മലയാളത്തിലും ടീച്ചർമാർക്കും ഇത് മലയാളത്തിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ OLab കേൾക്കാൻ സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്. मराठी मुझे मालूम नहीं है तो मैं मराठी में बात नहीं कर पाऊंगा, but it's available in Marathi and as well as in English. You know, this CDAC at Bangalore, for the benefit of certain students from Karnataka, translated this into Kannada Bhasha, and today they are using it. So, yes, you may ask me, why not Tamil? Yes, if there is a demand to be done in Tamil, we are willing for that. Now, come for some sort of, this is Premaji, Dr. Premaji. You know who is that? It's OLABS, launched. This was in 2015. Mr. Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad, who was the minister, cabinet minister for information technology and communication. Right. Good Governance Week celebration it was, and it was launched in 2015 in the presence of our minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. So, but then good work never goes without appreciation, and these are few awards which we have received. A few of the awards which are received, and it's not again out of place to mention that NASSCOM Innovation Award 2013, we were shortlisted for jury award. So this is the training statistics, and wherever you find the map of India, the deeper the color, the higher the training. The deeper the color, the lighter the color, less number of teachers have been trained. So there are more than 21,000 CBSE schools across the country, and number of teachers so far is 29,114. Schools is 8,376. And we have our statistics registered so far is about 2,11,386. And I'm sure we were not able to reach all of you. And now that we are able to reach many of you through this live orientation program by Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, let's wait and watch. In the next couple of months, we will touch 1 CR, 1 crore of users. And that is enlarged for a population of 1.3 billion. And the next slide would be on, right? The next slide would be on again. We would certainly go now, having mentioned about what Ola is. Now, I would like to welcome my colleague from Amritapuri, Amrita School of Engineering, to come online, come alive, and then take on to the session. Now let's view some demos in physics, chemistry, biology, and if possible, mathematics. And that would, after completion of that, I would straight away go to the question and answer session. So let us have Mr. Where are you, Sanish?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sanish. Welcome to the orientation program of all apps to, hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, sir.
You're looking very fresh. I think you had an excellent lunch today, I think. What did you have for lunch?
Yes.
Rice? You had rice and sambar, or what did you have?
As usual. Yeah,
as
usual rice.
No, rice. And then what was the curry and whatnot? So you had some sambar?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. So you had full meals, right?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sure you won't fall asleep. And I'm sure the teachers will never fall asleep, because they are in fact waiting for me to stop my theoretical part and waiting to see the practical demo part, the effective pull and push methodology you're going to teach our teachers. So let's start. Sanish, welcome you again for this. Over to you. Right.
So can you see my desktop?
Yes, I can see the desktop, Sanish. I'm online labs for schools. Yes, I'm able to see it.
I'm just off the video for getting better streaming.
Yeah, so teachers have to go to online labs for schools, right?
Right. Yeah. So I am just Googling it, Amrita OLabs, or you can type the web address olab.edu. So we can see olabs.edu.in. So click on that link.
Hey, Sanish, wait. Okay,
yes.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So this is the home page for online labs. There you can see different tabs form about all the different workshops, training, registration, contact us, and login, logout. And there is a language selection bar at the right side of the homepage. And just scroll down to see all the departments: physics, chemistry, biology, maths, English, and everything is available under here. So I'm directly go to some of the experiments. So I hope all of you get the better insight of these OLAPs. So now we can do how to perform these laboratories. So these are the physical science experiments for class 12, and you can scroll down and to see class 11. Similarly, for class 10. Yeah.
Sanish, I think you must go a little slow because our teachers have to really understand. So
Right,
what did you? You first said go to the O labs. Then what happens?
Just I'm demonstrating Ohm's law. So theory, everything described. I'm just showing.
Oh, this is what I
animation.
mentioned. Okay, yes. Fine. So, all right. Okay, go ahead.
So this is
what
the
is
animation tab. It's the animation tab. So we can see how to perform this real time. Can you hear this for you?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Watch it.
So I'm not
Our
playing
aim
all
is to determine the resistance per centimeter of a given wire by plotting a graph of potential difference versus current
Sanish, let's
and
hear the
hence
video, please.
voltmeter, ammeter, measuring scale and resistance wire. Procedure. Connect the positive terminal of a battery to the positive terminal of ammeter using a connecting wire. Connect the negative terminal of the ammeter to the positive terminal of the voltmeter using a connecting wire. The negative terminal of the voltmeter is connected to the upper terminal of the rheostat using a piece of wire. Connect the lower terminal of the rheostat to one end of the one-way key, that is, the key should be removed, using a connecting wire. The other free end of the one-way key is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Now, take a resistance wire, stretch it and measure its length using a meter scale and cut the wire at the given point. Connect it in parallel to the terminals of the voltmeter, that is, positive to negative. The connection is completed. Now, insert the key and slide the rheostat contact to check the working of the ammeter and voltmeter. Adjust the sliding contact of the rheostat and note down the value of potential difference V from voltmeter and current I from the ammeter. Record the reading of the voltmeter and ammeter. Shift the rheostat contact slowly and record the reading of the voltmeter and ammeter and calculate the value of R in each case. Shift the rheostat contact slowly. Similarly, take at least 5 sets of independent observations. Record the readings and plot a graph with the values. Calculate the resistance per centimeter of the wire. Calculate the least count and zero correction of the screw gauge. Remove the resistance wire from the terminals of the voltmeter. The resistance wire is gently gripped between the stud and the screw of the screw gauge. Note the pitch scale reading and head scale reading. Calculate the diameter of the wire and hence the radius of the wire. Calculate the resistivity, specific resistance, of the material of the wire. Resistance per centimeter of the given wire is 0.066 ohms per centimeter and resistivity of the material of the given wire is 1.01 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohms meter.
So this describes how to do these experiments in real lab. So I'm going to the simulator tab, which is our main focus. So click on simulator. So you can see the simulator window like this. So left side, you can see all the controls, which is necessary for this particular experiment. So in that you can select the material like silver, copper, gold, and you can change the length of the wire and diameter of the wire and resistance of rheostat that you can change. So these are called sliders. So let's see how to make these connections. So I'm just click and drag one end of the terminal to the ammeter. So you can see the connections are made like this. And
Absolutely.
similarly, I'm connecting this on. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. So I'm connecting this ammeter with the voltmeter. So click one negative terminal of the voltmeter to the rheostat, and then rheostat to the switch, and just closing the connection like this. So now the connection is complete. So now we need to switch on this circuit. So for that, I'm click and drag here. So there is a error message. We have put this resistance wire. So click the resistance wire and place in between the voltmeter terminals. So after making the connections only we can continue. So I'm just put the key. So you can see the current is flowing through this circuit and corresponding ammeter reading and voltmeter reading that you can take in from these measuring devices. So what we have to do is there is a tabular worksheet is available under the most of this experiment. So we can enter the value here. So I'm just entering the voltage. So currently our voltage is 0.7. So I'm just entering it.
So you have to type it there, right? There is a.
Yeah, we have to manually type it.
Okay.
So what we are doing is we found the resistance offered by this wire. So first of all, enter the voltmeter reading. After that, enter the ammeter reading. So it is 9.277. So after entering those readings, it will automatically calculate the resistance of the wire. So we can,
0.08.
yeah, 0.08. That is the resistance offered by this wire. So we can create the new rows by the click on this plus button. So similarly, we can create any number of rows. So I'm just changing the rheostat value for getting different reading. So the current will be reduced. So now the meter reading is 0.344. So I'm just entering it. And corresponding voltmeter reading is 0.027. Okay. I didn't made a mistake. I just entered the voltmeter reading 0.027. And ammeter reading
0.07, 0.027.
Yeah, 0.027
and 0.344. 0.344.
0.344 is the current reading. So after entering it, you can see all the resistance will be equal. And from this, you can also plot the graph. There is a graph plotting option is available here. So you can see if you are increasing the reading, it will show the straight line. So that is our Ohm's law basics. So that is the experiment. So I'm move on to the video tab.
1 minute. You can't be so fast. Can you put the theory part of it? Just click theory.
Yeah.
So here is the theory part of it. It gives you the theory, the aim of this particular Ohm's law. Then it goes to the theory part of it. Just browse it down. So it gives you the entire theory part of it, which teachers as well as the students can go through it before you conduct that simulation. So the entire Ohm's law is given here. And ultimately, what everybody is, the learning outcome is most important. Whether it's a theoretical class or a practical, we need to have the learning outcome. Here it is very clearly mentioned. These are the 3 learning outcomes by this particular Ohm's law, right? So this is the theory part of it. Go to the next one. What is the next one? Next.
One procedure tab.
Yeah, procedure.
So,
just show the procedure. This is where I mentioned when I show you the procedure. Before you start commence that experiment, you must all have these materials. Then you go to the real lab procedure. You know, this is the real lab procedure. Step by step, it is very clearly mentioned what should be done, how it should be done. So I think here it is. Then you have a real lab procedure. Then it's a simulator procedure. The first one is the real lab, the traditional physical lab procedure. Now we come to the simulator procedure, which will be now shown to you by my colleague now. Then you have observations. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 observations. And you have the table of ammeter here, the readings here. And this is something, you know, I mean, I'm sure it will be very, very elaborate explanation of Ohm's theory. So that's fine. So this is procedure. That's why step by step is a standard operation or standard procedures which a student has to go through either in lab or even simulation. Next one. We can only take this for physics. You can skip biology and chemistry, all this. You can show the simulation for biology and chemistry. And if something is for mathematics also, you can show it to them. Now you go to the simulator, right? Straight away go to the simulator.
There is an animation tab here.
Animation
so we
tab.
already mentioned.
And we have already seen that.
Right. So after the simulation, there is a video how to perform this experiment in real lab.
But this
so
video
is
this is the actual performance.
Yeah.
This,
so I'm
but
showing
it is not there. It is not there in all the experiments.
Hello? No, it is not there in all experiments. But
who's that? Yeah, go ahead with that. Go ahead. Audio is there, Sanish?
Yeah, audio is there.
The audio is not played. There is an audio, right?
Yeah, there's an audio for this video. I'm just.
Oh, there is an audio for this video. Not to worry. Maybe today, now it's not being played. What happened?
Pressure, etc. of the conductor remain the same.
Yes. Now yes. So this is the principle. Go ahead.
If I is the current flowing through the conductor and V is the potential difference across its ends, then according to Ohm's law, V is equal to Ri, where R is the constant of proportionality. It is known as resistance of the conductor. Or V by I is equal to R. Knowing the length L and radius R of the resistance wire, rho is equal to pi r squared R divided by L, gives the resistivity of the wire. So here we are determining the resistivity of a given wire by plotting a graph of potential difference versus current. Materials required: battery eliminator, ammeter, voltmeter, a resistance wire, rheostat, one-way key, meter scale, screw gauge, connecting wires. Procedure: arrange the required materials according to the circuit diagram. The positive terminal of the battery is connected to the positive terminal of the voltmeter, which is connected in series with the ammeter. Through a key, the connection can be extended to the upper terminal of the rheostat, whose lower terminal is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. The given resistor must be connected in parallel to the voltmeter. Determine the least count of voltmeter and ammeter and also note the zero error. To check the connections, insert the key K, then slide the rheostat contact and see whether the ammeter and voltmeter are working properly. By adjusting the sliding contact of the rheostat, note down the value of the potential difference V across the resistor from the voltmeter and current I from the ammeter. Repeat the experiment by changing the rheostat slider position. In each case, V by I is calculated, which gives the resistance R of the resistor, and it is found as a constant. Cut the resistance wire at the points where it leaves the terminals, stretch it and find its length by the meter scale. Measure the diameter of the wire using the screw gauge. A graph is drawn with I along the x-axis and V along the y-axis. The graph is a straight line. This also verifies Ohm's law. The slope of the graph will give the resistance of the wire. Note the values of OB and AB, then calculate the value of R as AB by OB, which gives the value of unknown resistance. We can now calculate the resistivity of the material of the given wire by using the equation ρ is equal to pi r squared R divided by L. Applications. Ohm's law is used to design various electrical circuits and amplifiers, oscillators, power generators, etc. It is also used to figure out the correct resistors to maintain proper current in a circuit at given voltage.
All right. So as you see, to describe all the aspects of this experimentation. So I'm going to that next tab, which is wire walls. Let's click on that tab. So as Krishnamurthy sir already explained, there are several questions available. So
Can you answer some
verify
questions? Yeah, answer some questions.
So I'm just clicking the submit button at the bottom. So when you are answering correctly, it will show the correct tick mark. Otherwise, it will show the wrong answer. So students can trial and error and find the correct answer for each question. So it will, while repeating each answering, they can easily memorize these questions. So it will be more helpful for the students. In our study, we found that it is more helpful for the students, those who are repeating this experimentation. And
do you have a right answer? Do you have a right answer?
Yeah. The top. Can you see the desktop?
Okay.
The first one is the right answer. So you can see the green tick mark. Can you see that?
Yeah. For the second, it is wrong, but where is the right answer?
So we have to find what does the current through the wire depending upon. So it will be resistance of the wire so we have to find out the answer like that.
Fine. I understand that. Okay. So they have to keep working on it.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Everything is explained in theory also. So I'm not go deep into the theory because we have faculty from all the disciplines.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a resource tab as mentioned. Those who want to explore more about this experimentation, they can go to the resource tab and find out the web link as well as the reference book.
What are
This is loading the browser. And
okay, fine.
okay. So these are the resources that we have used for developing this lab, and there is a feedback. And one more additional things I would like to mention that at the bottom of all the tabs there is a discussion forum is available. So those who have any clarification or any confusion regarding the experiment, they can put on this discussion
Do you have
forum.
sorry.
So our team will be answering for those questions. Okay. So I'll move on to another discipline. So chemistry. So click on the chemistry tab. So you can see all the chemistry experiments are here for 12 from 9
So
to
you
12.
have chemistry for 12th, 11th, 10th, and 9. Is that what is right?
Yes.
Yeah, 11th, and you have
9th also.
okay,
From
fine.
9 to 12, all the experiments are available for the chemical science also.
So the
I'm just
process.
doing-
Yeah, you can explain one experiment in chemistry, the drag and drop. You can just pick
Okay.
one.
Yeah. So I'm just showing some of the experiments. The kinetic study on the reaction between iodine ion and hydrogen peroxide. So in chemistry experiment, there are a lot of solutions, chemicals that we are using. So it will be hard for students to remember all these solutions sequentially. So in this simulator, so I don't need to go all this that because you already mentioned.
Yeah, you need not go except for that experiment.
Yes, experiment.
Yeah. Simulator.
Right. So I'm directly go to the simulator tab. So you can see all the experimental setup is arranged like this. So in this particular experiment, we need to change the volume of potassium iodide. So I am taking it as around 12 ml and corresponding volume for the water is 72 ml. So it will be automatically adjust to get the 19 ml of the solution. So we need to take the 1 mole of 0.1 mole of potassium iodide and make using this measuring beaker and pour into the conical flask like that. Similarly, I am adding this sulfuric acid, click and drag to this measuring beaker and pour to the conical flask like that. So you can see all the solutions are arranged in a left to right manner. So it will be easy for the experimenter, those who can understand this experimental setup. So I'm adding the sodium thiosulfate. So and click and drag towards this conical flask. And lastly, I'm adding H2O2. So after the completion, the glass stirrer automatically will stir this solution and the time will automatically start. So we need to watch the color change of the solution. So it will be turned to dark blue. So it will take around 1 or 2 minutes time. So after that, this stopwatch will stop automatically. And we need to enter the time taken for the solution, the reaction completion into this worksheet. So it will be give the time taken for completing the reaction. So similarly, we can change the volume of potassium iodide and repeat this experimentation. So each time students do this experiment, they need to pick and drag all these solutions in sequence manner. So that's how students can easily learn this concept of this experimentation. So all the necessary measurements are given in the left side control panel. So you can see volume of sulfuric acid is 10 ml, volume of starch is 5 ml, and similarly sodium thiosulfate is 10 ml, H2O2 is 5 ml. So these things they are used for measuring the time taken for this particular experimentation. So I'm just entering the value. So we have taken the potassium iodine as 12 ml. So this is 12 ml. And we need to take the time taken for completing this reaction. So we have to wait. So now you can see that blue color is appear. So the time for this completion of the experiment is 1.57 seconds. So here you have to enter the minute, 1 minute, and here you have to enter the time in second, 57. So similarly, you can repeat this experiment for different ml value of potassium iodide and enter this tabular column. After that, you can plot the graph. So from the graph, it will be shows that the time taken for the completion of this experiment is proportional to the concentration of potassium iodide. All right.
I think,
Yeah.
Sanish,
Yeah. Shall we move to other experiment or?
yeah, you have anything to do with biology? How good are you in
Yeah.
biology?
Yeah.
Yeah, one biology, you can do it on, you can just go straight to simulation.
Right. So I'm just taking the studies of turbidity, pH, and microbiological processes in water. Click on the experiment and go to simulator.
What is this experiment? Studies on?
The pH,
Okay.
pH value and microbiological presence in water. So we have different water content, wastewater, pond water, backwater, like that. So there is a pH paper here. We can just using this. So it will be shows that color of the paper will change. So we can refer to the top of this color code and you can see how much it will be acidic or basic. So similarly for this universal indicator to the solution. So it will turn the color. So you can directly see that now its pH value is around 6. So this is the type of experiment usually in biological lab they are doing. They have to collect the water from different sources and find the pH value for the water. So several water they can easily identify what is will be the pH value for each water. So I'm just using the wastewater and find out the acidic level for the wastewater. So you can see the color is somewhere between 4 and 5. So it is 4. So it is more acidic than tap water. Similarly, I'm just taking the river water and just pouring the universal indicator. Just click and drag and click on the top of this beaker. So it will put the indicator into the solution and it will be suddenly color will changes. So you can see it will be easy for the students to perform this type of experimentation in biological lab. And this is only one type of experiment. Other type of experiments they have to, just like our physical lab, there are several control panels will be there. So they can adjust the parameters for taking the readings. So I'm going to some max experiments also.
Yeah, one maths,
maths
experiment one. Yeah, correct.
So I'm this is the experiment to relate the surface area of the sphere to the cylinder. Just click on it. So I'm just go to the simulator tab. So before that, I just want to see the surface area of the okay, just wait for loading the simulator.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time. There are so many of you who have put on many queries, and those queries are not the same different questions, but quite a few of you have complimented Amrita Labs for this session, as well as many have mentioned about. Yes, over to you. Over to you. Sanish, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So this objective of this experiment to give a suggestive demonstration of the similar formula for the surface area of the sphere in terms of radius. So click on this start button. So
and mathematics,
here there are
mathematics, we are only for 9th and 10th, if I'm right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. Sorry for the interruption.
Instructions in the left side, check the two checkbox in the toolbox to generate the hemisphere in the cylindrical. So we just need to follow the instruction. So after that, click on the next tab, next button at the bottom. And drag these threads to the of the length L over this figures to win them completely. So currently it is winding this thread to the surface area of this hemisphere. So here you can see the surface, the radius of the sphere is capital R, and height of the cylinder is 2 times the radius of this hemisphere. So I'm just trying to drag this thread to wind this cylinder. So southeast hemisphere is completely winded. So whenever you do this wrongly, it will pop up the error message like that. Okay, I'll just show some other lab because it's not the one I okay.
So you'll have to wait for some time, but
Yeah.
that's okay. Somebody wants it in botany, then somebody, I don't know. Is there experiments available for class 6, 7, 8? As far as we are concerned, we are not having that at the moment, but we are developing for 6, 7, and 8, which would certainly be made available in the near future. So we are
So in the max experiment, there are a set of instructions given in the left tab. You just need to follow all these instructions.
till you get used to this dragging and dropping system. I think not to worry.
Yeah, so initially it will be difficult for the faculty.
Nothing to worry, teachers. Yeah, the more number of times you have these experiments done, you will become experts in dragging and dropping. So not to worry. Everything that cannot happen all of a sudden. So you keep doing this, and even for the children, please tell them that drag and drop might take some time, but as you get used to it, by the number of times you experiment this, you would become experts. Yeah, in fact, Sanish, you are also finding it difficult because you are no more a student of 10th, 11th, and 12th, so maybe finding it difficult.
I'm also just like doing this.
Doesn't matter. But before he drags and pushes in, let me tell you, teachers, the results what comes out of those 136 odd experiments in maths, physics, chemistry, and biology, they are all 100% accurate. 100% accuracy is kept. Why I'm saying this? Because all these experiments, in fact, when Mr. Vinit Joshi sir was the chairman of CBSE, I think it was early 2000, maybe 2012, 2013, there was a team of CBSE members who came, visited our campus and was working with Amrita Create for 8 months before they gave us the approval. Before CBSE gave us the approval of OLAPs to CBSE schools, the team of CBSE worked with us for 8 months on the results, what we are seeing today. So the results are 100% accurate. So you can be rest assured that you can blindly and boldly, you can do the experiments. So this I thought I should mention to you. Yes, you're able to track? Okay, good.
Yes, yes. So in this experiment, we are identifying the relation between volume of this sphere with the volume of this cylinder.
Sanish, if it is going to be a bit of a problem, we could.
Right.
I mean,
so the relation is taking a little bit time for loading.
yeah, I know. It's not your mistake. So I think if you feel that it's going to take some more time, you have done it extremely well.
How is the relation between this volume of the sphere? So the volume of the sphere will be 3 times equal to the volume of this 2 cylinder. So that is the basic knowledge that students will get after performing this experiment.
Wonderful.
So similarly, max experiment, they have to see the instructions carefully. So all the experiments, I suggest you to go to theory, then procedure. After that, go to simulator. Then only they can perform it very well. Otherwise, it will be difficult for the students, those who are starting in first time. So this is how to perform this max experiment.
That's okay.
So I think I need to refresh this page again. So I think all of the faculty get the idea about how to do this experimentation. Right.
Let me tell you, Sanish, our teachers are so brilliant, and maybe they'll catch up within a one-time experiment. When they do it, they'll catch up on this, and our students are much more than all of us, I'm sure. Right? Yeah, this whole lab will certainly help. So Sanish, is it over? Can I say thank you on behalf of our teachers who heard you?
Yeah, that's all about the presentation. So I suggest to explore more about this experimentation. So we will get the how to do it carefully. And
thank you, Sanish, for a lovely explanation on the demonstration front of various experiments. And I'm sure the teachers would have certainly enjoyed listening to you. I'm sure. And I really did enjoy listening to you on the various experiments that you demonstrated us now. So teachers, before I wind up, we always seek again the blessings of our Swamiji who is currently with us. Before that, I want to announce one more thing, that people, like we had in fact started this for those of the students who may not be having that internet facility. You have this live streaming done for classes, and I'm sure many of our students may not even have internet facility. So for those of you who do not have an internet facility, they need to have that installer version done somewhere, and then you just register yourself, and from our end we will send you the link, and with that link you can show the demonstration of various experiments without online. So we also have an arrangement for offline, which I thought I must share with you. For this, you need to have the installer version. So that is number one. Number two, we also need to announce that teachers who are attending this, there's quite a bit of queries which has come on whether we will be We will be issuing e-certificates. We will be issuing e-certificates without fail, but then please have patience for at least a week for you to receive those certificates in your email. So we will do that, but give us some time and we will certainly issue that. So not to worry about that, okay? And we also will be, for those participants, we'll also be sending you a feedback form. So based on the feedback form, which means those are the people who attended our live show on OLAB orientation, please put your feedback on that, right? Very positive, constructive feedback wherein which we can improve and level up your expectations in the future, because it's going to be a blended experimental experiments in the future. You're going to have lab experiments, you might have live on all labs also. It could be a blended teacher, so it will be like a blended experiments in the future. So please, there are quite a few questions which have come in, but I'm not able to answer or to all those questions for one at a time. Please put your questions like in your feedback form and let us try and answer all your questions. So from my side, it's over, but again, we have Swamiji ready to say his conclusionary remarks on this OLAB orientation program for the Chennai Sahodaya teachers. Over to you, Swamiji, for your conclusions, remarks.
Thanks, Krish, for the session. First of all, the second thing I just wanted to convey as a concluding remarks is let us try to learn more and more. Let us try to experiment as much as possible. And one more important thing when you look forward is that technology will definitely be a part of your life. And it is essential that all the teachers have to be equipped, because we all know that the next generation is completely tech savvy. And all the newborn babies, even we start consoling them with the help of mobiles. So we have started programming them by giving them gadgets. So which means that once they come to the schools, they'll be more knowledgeable than us, the teachers. So let us try to utilize these kind of sessions to upskill yourself. Find out these kind of sessions. If some other organization or any other organization is conducting such kind of sessions, try to learn as much as possible during these days. I'm sure that once you're back to school, you may not be able to find such a kind of time, or you may not be able to find time to learn all this. So without taking too much of time, let me congratulate all the teachers today who have attended the session today. And we will be back again with more and more such sessions to help the teachers. As Krish said, we'll be sending the certificates also. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Swamiji, for your wonderful conclusionary remarks on this orientation. But meanwhile, I'm sorry we were not able to pitch in Madam, who has taken a lot of initiative and pain, who is the chairperson of Chennai Sahodaya, Vijayalakshmi ma'am, as well as the principal of Chinmaya Vidyalayam. Very unfortunate that we couldn't have her in the beginning because of some technical snags, but then she certainly wants to be online, not online, offline, talking to you from her telephone to all those teachers who are attending this orientation program. Here is Vijayalakshmi ma'am talking to all of us, please. Over to Vijayalakshmi ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Krishnan. Sorry, I couldn't join live due to some technical glitches. It's really disappointing that I'm not able to be there live. But anyway, I must really thank you immensely for arranging this event for our teachers of our Chennai Sahodaya Schools complex. And in the recent times, a lot of webinars I've been attending. And in every platform, I could see teachers worried about the science practicals and again asking the CBSE authorities a solution for that. Even Dr. Sanyam Bharadwaj in a recent webinar, he was mentioning about Amrita OLAB and asking the teachers to enroll and make use of it. So I thought it's right time that we also made use of it, and I thank you very much. Thank Amrita University and Swamiji for giving us this opportunity and holding this event for us. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, ma'am. We will certainly meet you in person once the
Sure,
situation in Chennai eases. And thank you so much for this initiative. And I'm sure our teachers will be benefited on online lab. So till we meet again, this is Mehul Krish signing off from Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Ettimade, that's headquarters. Thank you so much once again, teachers, for patiently listening to us on Line Labs. And here I go. Jai Hind!